Most people look at the clock and see time passing. They see an hour. They see a quarter. They see a drill. They wait for the game to come to them. They wait for the lights to shine, for the crowd to cheer, for the whistle to blow. That is why they remain average. That is why they remain predictable. While they are waiting, the elite are calculating. Every single step, every shift in leverage, every subtle mistake a defender makes when he thinks nobody is watching, it is all being dissected. What actually makes an athlete impossible to contain is never just speed. Speed can be matched by angle and discipline. It is never just power. Power can be absorbed by leverage and technique. What makes a player an absolute terror on the field is pure, ruthless unpredictability combined with relentless efficiency. Look at the film. Look at how a defender reacts when he faces someone who gives him zero clues. When your posture looks identical, whether you are attacking inside, cutting outside, pulling back, or exploding downfield, you rob the defender of his most valuable asset, time. In this game, reaction time is the only currency that matters. The moment you take away a defender's time, you force him to guess. And the moment a defender starts guessing, he has already lost the rep. Every drill you execute in the dark, every footwork repetition you perform when your legs are burning and your lungs are fighting for air is not just about building muscle. It is about engineering a puzzle that no defensive coordinator on earth can solve in real time. Physical fatigue is tough, but mental fatigue is fatal. When you consistently attack a defender's leverage, when you make every single play feel like a life or death battle for position, you break his spirit long before you break his line. He starts playing soft. He starts giving you an extra yard, then 2 yards, then 3, simply because he is terrified of getting burned deep. He stops playing to dominate and starts playing merely to survive. That is the psychological shift. You do not need an entire game to break a man's will. You just need to show him early that no matter what angle he takes, no matter how hard he strikes, you are already 2 steps ahead of his intention. You become a ghost in his film study, a headache in his game plan, a constant shadow on the field. So how do you build this level of dominance? You do not buy it. You do not wish for it. You construct it through an unyielding protocol. It is the repetition when nobody is filming. It is the obsession with the extra millimeter. It is refining your footwork until your cuts are surgical, precise, and lethal. It is building an engine that does not redline when everyone else is gassing out in the 4th quarter. Defenders love playing against raw talent because talent gets arrogant. Talent gets lazy. Talent relies on feeling good. But a player built on relentless, disciplined protocol, that is an unstoppable force. When you step onto that turf, you should never hope you are ready. You should know, with absolute certainty, that you have done things in the quiet hours that your opponent would not even dream of attempting. Think about what happens when fatigue sets in. The 4th quarter arrives. The air gets thin. The pads feel heavy. The heat on the turf starts rising. That is the exact moment where the protocol takes over. An untrained athlete relies on motivation, but motivation dies when the body hurts. A protocol-driven athlete relies on systemized habit. Your feet keep moving with precision because they have done it 10,000 times before. Your eyes keep reading leverage because pattern recognition has become second nature. While your opponent is fighting for his breath, you're taking his space. While he is looking at the sideline for help, you are already setting up the next blow. This level of play demands a complete dynamic shift in how you view every single snap. You're no longer reacting to what the defense gives you. You're dictating what the defense is forced to do. You control the pace. You set the line. You choose the angle. Every route, every move, every drive becomes a masterclass in psychological control. You make them second-guess their instincts. You make them question their film study. You make them doubt the very technique they have trained their whole lives to trust. True dominance is quiet. It does not need trash talk, theatrical celebrations, or unnecessary noise. It speaks through brutal, consistent execution. It speaks through broken angles, missed tackles, and defenders looking at the grass wondering what just happened. When you commit to this standard, you elevate the entire field. You force everyone around you to operate at a higher frequency or get left behind in the dust. The difference between being a good player and being a nightmare is not talent, luck, or genetics. It is a refusal to accept inefficiency. It is looking at every rep, every second, every detail of your game, and stripping away everything that does not contribute to absolute control. You master the micro movements, the weight distribution on your plant foot, the subtle head fake, the explosive hip rotation, the violent arm drive. When these micro movements are chained together with relentless speed, you become a force that cannot be contained by standard defensive rules. Look at the film room again. When coaches sit down on Sunday night to prepare for you, what do they see? Do they see a routine player with 2 or 3 moves that can be schemed against? Or do they see an anomaly? Do they see an athlete who adapts to every coverage, exploits every mismatch, and punishes every single mistake? When your preparation reaches this level, you alter their entire game plan before the game even starts. They have to pull safeties out of coverage. They have to play soft zone. They have to commit extra bodies just to slow you down. And by doing that, you open up the entire field for everyone else. This is the ultimate objective of the protocol. It is not just to win a rep. It is to alter the geometry of the game. It is to make the boundary lines feel smaller for them and larger for you. It is to turn the field into your personal playground while turning it into a battleground for anyone tasked with slowing you down. Right now, the field is empty. The stadium is silent. The film is waiting to be written. Every rep you take from this point forward is either building the threat or exposing the weakness. There is no middle ground. There is no neutral work. You are either becoming easier to read, or you are becoming impossible to stop. Put in the work when the lights are off. Master the mechanics. Build the engine. Refuse to compromise on the details. Show up every single day with a cold, calculated focus to strip away hesitation and replace it with absolute authority. When game day arrives, you will not need to look for confidence. Confidence will be the natural byproduct of your preparation. You will step onto that field knowing that you are the problem the opposing team could not prepare for. The defense thinks they are ready. They think their scheme will hold. They think their technique is enough. Go out there, step across the line, and prove to them that everything they prepared for was nowhere near enough. Become the threat. On the field, make them fear every single rep.